Ascension Island lies in the center of the Atlantic. It was created only recently by volcanic eruptions, at least in geological terms. It's only around 1 million years old. Being both young and remote, much of Ascension is barren. Yet it's far from lifeless, as nightfall reveals.
I can see, yeah, that's one coming out the water right there.
A green turtle. She's travelled all the way from feeding grounds off the coast of Brazil to Ascension's remote beaches, where she digs her nest under the cover of darkness. When she's dug deep enough, she fills the hole with her clutch of eggs, then returns to the sea. The island is so remote, there are no predators here, making it a safe place for seabirds to nest. And they did so in extraordinary numbers. Today, over 400,000 sooty terns nest on the island. But just a few years ago, these were the only seabirds surviving on Ascension. The problem was rats, cats and mice introduced by passing ships.
Since the animals have lived here for thousands of years without land predators, they have relatively little fear.
And that lack of experience with predators proved their undoing.
These vast bird populations are unfortunately incredibly vulnerable, and these sooty terns demonstrate the point. They're just not adapted to cope with introduced predators. The bird life had one safe haven. This little island here is called Bosunbird Island, and it's sufficiently far and isolated from the mainland for the rats, the cats and the mice to be unable to swim to it. Many of the bird species became extinct on the mainland of Ascension, but they survived there.
Many kinds of seabirds nest here. The top of the island is covered with masked boobies. But the most special bird here is the Ascension Island frigate. Ascension is the only place on Earth where this bird nests.
When the Ascension frigate bird was wiped out from the mainland, this is the only place in the world where it survived. About 10,000 pairs live here, and if it wasn't for this island, the species would be completely extinct.
Conservationists on the island monitor the population, but clearly Bosunbird Island is too small a place to give the species a secure future. Starting in 2002, a cat eradication program was begun, and by 2004, Ascension was declared cat-free. Soon after, seabirds began to reclaim lost ground. Masked boobies returned to nest on the mainland. They were joined by brown boobies and noddy terns. The only species reluctant to return was the threatened Ascension frigate. Then, when I was on the island in 2012, something remarkable happened.
In late 2012, 2 pairs of Ascension frigate birds returned back to the mainland. Of those 2 pairs, one failed to raise a chick, the other succeeded. This little fella here in front of me is the very first Ascension frigate bird chick back on the mainland of Ascension for over 180 years.
And on Ascension's beaches, the next generation of green turtles is also hatching. Although at first glance, Ascension Island seems barren and lifeless, In reality, there are many creatures that call this place home. And for some, this remote volcano in the center of the ocean is their only home anywhere on Earth.